What is citizenship? Citizenship is the position or status of being a citizen of a particular country. Since Trump has become president, the amount of time for citizenship has doubled in the last 2 years, making it harder for people that want to become citizens. But how does someone actually come to the U.S. legally?
Well, I lived in El Salvador till I was 7 or 8, around that age. And my mom's dad requested her to come be a resident here. And so that process actually took years from what my mom's been telling me. After 5 years of living here, you can actually become a citizen. And so my mom waited more than 5 years. So me and her didn't become full-on citizens till December of last year. So it's gonna be a year in a little while.
Because of the lengthy process for citizenship, it makes some people want to come to the U.S. illegally to avoid the time it takes.
I got here when I was 1 year and 9 months, about to turn 2.
What was the process of crossing the border, if you can remember anything?
If I can remember anything, I don't, but stories that I heard is that I got illegal papers and my parents had to dress me up as a boy because that's what my papers were. I was a boy, and I crossed with the family who I owe so much respect to. My mom was walking with my aunt, but she had almost a near experience where she got caught. But my aunt told her to run, because if I would have got there, I would have gotten there with nobody. And so my aunt took the blame. She stalled for my mom to keep on running, and that's the story of how I crossed the border.
President Trump directed Immigration and Customs Enforcement to pursue a zero-tolerance policy. ICE would no longer focus on just detaining and deporting criminals. Now they would target every undocumented man, woman, and child.
And being it. If you don't like in this country,
I say go home.
To where?
To Mexico.
I'm sorry, sir, but we're not from Mexico.
Go
back to your country, bitch.
Are you ever afraid? Is your family ever afraid of
I most definitely am. The whole situation that happened in Mississippi, I was super scared. Because Mississippi is just a border state away. And majority of my family in Texas live there. And I'm always scared something could happen to them or something mainly could happen to me because I wouldn't know what to do.
But how does somebody undocumented really live?
So being undocumented, you don't have a social security number. So many people are 16 and they're oh, I get to drive or I get to work and get money. I have the disadvantage of that. I cannot drive, I can't get my permit or my driver's license. So I'm always having to ask people for rides. I can't work, and if I do, it would have to be something secretly, I don't know how people do it, but it wouldn't be the same as if I were to have Social Security. It's really hard too because I am so dedicated to becoming successful in life and going to college, but without a Social Security number, you can't get a scholarship, or it's going to be much harder for me to get a scholarship or get any type of aid to go to college. I've heard from teachers that I have potential to make it far, but with that, as a problem, I have limits.
Around 16% of the population of children are undocumented, all living similar lives as Jessica, a life they didn't choose. They don't have a social security number, which strips them away of so much life, including not being able to travel, have a good education, which leads to not having a good job in the future, mainly because there isn't an alternative to help them out. But my question to my presidential candidates, is it truly fair to the kids for them to live a life with no opportunity? So what are you going to do about it?
Countries do. We can't. I would never do that. But how do you stop these people? You can't. There's no... That's only in the panhandle you can get away with that statement.